So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a special watch market update prepared for you guys and a couple of topics that we would like to share with you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I want to tell all of you out there is we really appreciate all of you that are here, witnessing this watch market update, this live podcast. You can really help us out. If you guys really want to help us out and you want to save the rest of what you have for your, the channels that you are loyal to, the other Muppet Boiler Room, secondary great watch market channels, that's fine. You can save it for them. But for us, do us a favor and like our video or subscribe to our channel, One of those two things will be very, very nice of you, if you're here. We're always going to give you just good stuff in this channel. The stuff that you're never going to hear in the channels that you guys like to maintain, But we're going to give you real knowledge in this channel, right, guys? So please, if you want to help us out, you can help us out that way with subscribing to our channel, liking of our video, giving it a thumbs up, and so on and so on. The faster I reach to 10,000, the faster I'll kish. If you don't know what the word kish is, you Google it. All right, guys? Perfect. I did it the way you told me to say it. That's the only way I know how to say it. Maybe you would like to say it different. Tú entiendes lo que te estoy diciendo. Yo lo hice ya. Más nada. Ladies and gentlemen, I have something that I want to share with you guys. And what I want to share with you guys is about the Rolex watch, the Rolex factory, they say that Rolex, the king of watches, they say that Rolex produces annually 1 million watches. Me, not Kino, me, I say they produce 2 million plus a year. But that's just me. But to make all of you feel comfortable out there, I'm going to go with what the numbers that you guys like to hear. 1 million. They are approximately 680 watch companies within the Swiss watchmaking industry. 680 companies. Listen and learn so you get smart, so you don't become dumbed down by those flim-flammers you like to watch. Listen and learn. So there are approximately 680 watch companies within the Swiss watchmaking industry. These companies employ around 60,000 people, contribute significantly to the Swiss economy, generating a 4% of the country's GDP. You heard that. There are 680 companies over there in Swiss, over there in Swiss. And they employ 60,000 employees. That means if you divide the 60,000 into the 650 companies, you have a number of 92 employees for each watch company, But let's say Rolex, Rolex, let's give Rolex more than that. Let's give Rolex, I don't know, let's give them a lot of those 60,000, right? Unbelievable, it's unbelievable that there are so many companies, watch companies, over there in the Swiss, over there, that place over there. Gentlemen, here, listen to me for a moment. You probably grew up believing that, and thinking that the best watches come from Swiss, from the snowy mountains of Switzerland. always. You probably thought that, and you probably thought that a little old man, was sitting down in a little desk, doing your watch for a whole year. You thought that, with magnifying glasses, building your Rolex watch. You know, it's incredible. By hand. You know, so keep in mind, 680 watch factories over there, and 60,000 people are employed. So these people say they produce 1 million watches per year. I keep on telling you that they produce much more than that. And that's fine. Like I'm telling you, you really believe in your mind that they make the best watches, and you grew up believing that the Swiss are the best, and they do their watches by hand, and and polishing and all that good stuff. Like that old man from the movie Pinocchio, I forgot his name, Gipito, help me out, I don't know too much. Help me out. So it's hard for me to believe that these people can make 1 million watches per year with the amount of help they have over there in their factory. It's very hard. It's very hard for me to believe that. I don't know if you guys know this, but China collectively graduates 12 times more engineers than the US. 12 times. And I don't know if you guys know that the country with the most engineers in the world, with the most engineers, whatever field of engineering there is, whatever field of engineering there is, they come from China, an estimated 4.5 million to 5 million. Unbelievable. Esta gente son una jodienda. The Chinese people are unbelievable. Listen and learn so you understand what I'm trying to say. And in all aspects of engineering, these guys are unbelievable. These guys are an engineering workforce. And but over there, and in the snowy mountains, of Switzerland, they produce 1 million watches a year. To me, it's a big lie. To me, it's a big lie. And you people might be thinking, what is he talking about? I'm trying to tell you that the numbers no dan. They don't give. They never gave. For me, they never gave, because I've been telling you for the last 3 years that, Rolex parts and watches and casing and bracelets come from China. The people were mad at me, because I was saying that. And I still say it today, even more. But let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. You've been watching all this information from a platform which the government of our country wanted to ban. They wanted to ban it. For the last 2 years and a half, they wanted to ban. And that platform is TikTok, right? And they're the ones, I think TikTok is from, I don't know, over there, from China too. I don't know, these people are unbelievable. They know too much. The Chinese people know too much. But for them, we have been able to hear the truth and nothing but the truth. On ladies' handbags, sneakers, Nike sneakers, Nike sneakers, the Jordans, the Michael Jordans you pay, $1,000, $2,000, you have different Nike factories. Factory 1, Factory 2, and then you have the Michael Jordan, China, unbelievable. So what I'm trying to say is, if it wasn't for TikTok that opened all of your eyes on luxury goods, where they come from, you would have never known. You would have never known nothing. And then after TikTok did what they did, then you had the other channel come in, the other platform, which is YouTube, to tell you that these watches are basically produced in China. And now, ladies and gentlemen, there's another situation going around now, is that China, the country of China, since they're the ones that, blew the whistle on the whole operation, of luxury goods. Whatever luxury goods you're thinking about or talking about is somehow, some way made in China. From the hardware to the leather to the zipper, from a spring, from a rotor, from a casing, a bracelet, whatever it is, it comes from China. Papi, these people are unbelievable. I'm telling you, these people have so many engineers, it's unbelievable. And whatever kind of engineer you're talking, these people are unbelievable. Their capabilities are the core of its economic. The core of their economics. These people son un genio. Kino, no te meta, no te meta, no te meta, que esto es para mí hoy. Déjame a mí que yo le quiero dar a esta gente. That's their success. That is China's success. So when these people are telling you, no, because you got people arguing still, they're saying that these watches are made in the Swiss. Yeah, maybe they are. Maybe they are assembled over there. But all these parts, they come from La China, papi. They come from La China. Whether you want to believe it or not. Whether you want to believe in this watch, this parts from China. Come on. China. There's nobody more disciplined than those people. You're going to tell me those 60,000 people that work for 650, 680 watch companies over there are making 1 million Rolex watches? Sitting down, polishing it, putting it together. Let me explain to you something, guys. Let me explain to you something. If you see watches that come from Rolex, let's say the real Rolex, right? Rolex, and you look at them, the finishes inside those dials, oh man, they're terrible. And you might see one of those one-on-one clones that they make over there, and they're perfect. They're perfect. They're perfect. And they're coming out. Those watches are coming out from the same factories. Rolex parts, real Rolex parts, Rolex clone parts. And sometimes when they have parts left over, they even give it to the clone department to put them inside those watches. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. We have all been taken. We have all been taken as lollipop suckers, window lickers, crayon eaters, tomato cans, Palmolive dish lickers. Papi, everything is made over there. Everything is made over there. So going back to China. So now China is giving discounts on their watches. Discounts. You're never going to hear none of this in the news. You're never going to hear none of this in the news because this is a real big business. So big business. You have ads. You have sports events. You have too much money involved, so they can't open their mouths and the news. The news, fake news. The ones that we watch. The streams that we watch are fake. They tell you only what they want you to know in here. They're not going to tell you none of this. But luckily, you have that TikTok that's telling everything. And this is why the government wanted TikTok out of there because they were throwing everybody under the bus, telling us a lot of things that we're not supposed to know. But they are telling us. And you gotta be smart. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be honest. Yes, you should look at that TikTok. They tell you a lot of truth. A lot of truth. More truth than what, our people here don't tell us. But anyway, going to China in the discounts. Now China is giving discounts on their watches. Suddenly, after this thing came open, after they said that watches are being built here in China. What's happening now with China? China's ADs, their excuse for giving discounts on their Rolex watches and their ADs is economic shifts. The demand on specific models, potential overstocking. Listen and learn, guys. We cannot continue skip hopping around through life like rabbits. You need to learn. Accumulated inventory. These are the excuses they're giving now to the public, so they won't get alarmed no more of what's happening. It's unbelievable. Listen, this is one of my favorite ones that they say, that China's saying, gray market influence. It's unbelievable. I mean, can you imagine what they're using? They're using the word gray market influence. Changes, I like this one too. Changes in consumer behavior. These are all the excuses. These are all the excuses they're using to flim-flam you, because China opened their mouth. A secret, the secret. That book, The Secret? The book, The Secret, that like 15 years ago was the hottest book there was. The Secret, Secret is out. And many of you don't want to know about The Secret. You don't want to hear about The Secret because it's too much for you. But can you believe what these Rolex ADs from La China, what they're telling their people out there? Economic shifts, the demand on specific models, potential overstocking, accumulated inventory. You believe that? Accumulated inventory. Hay que ser, Kino, no te metas. No te metas. Es así que va, Kino. La historia mía es así. No te metas, Kino. Esto para grande hoy. Esto para grande. No te metas. No te metas que esto para grande hoy. So they're using these big words. They're using these big words on you guys. But I'm telling you, the ones that I like is gray market influence. Gray market influence. Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, the Walrus Fat Bastard, the Hungry Hippo Mr. Magoo, the Toddler Body Brothers, Big Pun and Heavy D, the two Jehovah Witness, Toupee Winkman. You understand me? The two brothers at the night at the Roxbury. These are the gray market influences. You know that? You understand me? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? It's unbelievable. These people son unas ratas. Not China. No, not China. Not China. Rolex. This is what they're saying. The reason they're giving discounts. Because China acabó con Rolex. China finished with Rolex. You understand me? I know this is too much for you. This is too much for you. This is crazy what China, what Rolex factory is telling China what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Some years ago, I had a pair of Rolex watches. I take my two Rolex watches before I purchase them to my watchmakers. I got a few of them in downtown that I deal with. I took one to this one, and he said that one was good and one was not good. Fine. I took it to the other one. One said both of them are good. No problem. Both of them are good. I took it to the third one, which is a very experienced watchmaker that came all the way from the communist country of Cuba. You know, he looked at it, he looked at it, he looped it. He said, my God, you know, one dial looks, my God, the finishes in the dial, the finishes on the hand, they look terrible, blah, 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 blah. And the other one looks perfect. I don't think, you know, the dial that's all not looking well is the real dial. And the one that has the real dial, it has to be Rolex for real, blah, 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 blah. The moral of the story is, the one that had the bad dial was the real Rolex watch. And the one that had the clean finish dial was the one-on-one, you know, Rolex. We're not even going to call it clone. We're going to call it one-on-one. What I'm trying to tell you is there are so many watches out there. They're basically one-on-one Rolex watches. But they are for real Rolex watches. They're real ones. I told you already that these factories in La China, they have factory A, which factory A just does all the components for this luxury watchmaker. You know? Let's use an example. Rolex, right? Let's use an example. And then you have B that does the B, you know, the B Rolex watches. And then you have the C, right? When they're doing watches and they have a lot of leftover parts, listen and learn, man. You guys don't want to listen. You want to continue skip hopping around through life like rabbits. That's right. That's right. You guys know more than me. You guys should open up your own channels and help me out. So when they have all these springs, rotors, bracelets, pins, screws, whatever it is, they give it to these people. The real Rolex parts, hey, we don't want them. We don't need them anymore. Give them to you. So on those clones, you have a spring that's a real Rolex spring. On those clones, you have a little rotor that's a real rotor. You know what I'm trying to say? It's really frogged up. It's really frogged up. And I've been telling you this for some years already, for a good 3 years. All these watches have parts from China. All of them. How do you know? I know. Sweet Kid Kino told me. This, you know, the brains behind this channel told me all those parts come from China. I know you don't want to hear it because you spend it like me. You spend it $50,000 in a watch. But it is what it is. You know, the glamour is too much for you guys, you know? It's too much. You know, it's too much. You don't want to believe that the watch has parts from China. You want to continue skip hopping around through life that watch is a real 100% Swiss made. I have a gentleman that sent me a text or an email, and he told me, well, you know, a Swiss watch only has to be 40% or 60%, you know, made with parts and it's Swiss made. ¿Qué estás hablando, gilipollas? ¿Qué estás hablando? Le están dando por el orto, you know? They're giving them logo, and they're still, you know, they don't want to believe it. But do you believe now that Rolex over there in the snowy mountains of Switzerland, you know, with the 60,000 employees for 680 watch factories, are doing $1 million watches? A million watches? Do you think they're making a million watches? Those people are pumping in 2.5 million with the help of the Chinese factory they have over there. But the veil, like the Wizard of Oz, they took it off, the veil, and the Wizard of Oz, from the Dorothy and the Scarecrow and the Lion, and Tin Man, they took it off. Están jodidos, papi, están jodidos. Papa, the truth has come out, and thank God that the government did not ban, TikTok from us being able to see it. Because they have destroyed anything that has to do with luxury. Anything. Whatever you have on right now, some way, somehow, is from China. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care. This is what's happening, and you guys have to get with the program and start accepting, exactly. They pull the curtain. Papi, they pull the curtain. Whatever it is. Ferrari, man, I'm telling you, screws. There are Ferrari cars, they come from China. Okay? Bugatti, whatever you want to call it, papi, whatever you want to call it. Air Jordans that you pay $250 for a pair, they cost over there, I don't know, $3. They're killing us. They're killing us. They are killing us slowly. Los chinos son una jodienda. I finished telling you that the Chinese have produced 4.5 million, 5 million engineers. These people son unos genios, papi, son una jodienda. Son una jodienda. You guys don't want to listen to this because you guys want to keep on believing that your Hermes belt is from over there, from Hermes. Mira, este es Hermes tuyo, papi. This is your Hermes. Look at your Hermes right here, right there. Yes, that's your Hermes right there. Exactly, that's your Hermes. But that's fine because you guys need to know that. The only Swiss made, for real is Swiss chocolate, That's it. Mira, logo con todos ustedes. Swiss chocolate. That's it. That's all there is for you guys, But, I'm telling you, the reason you don't hear this on your ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox News, CNN, you're not going to hear none of this because, papi, there's too much money involved. I have already told you many times. Thank you very much, Mark. I've told you many, many times that the world is a big business. You got magazines, entertainment, endorsements, with Rolex Wimbledon, Rolex Formula One, Rolex magazines. Too much money. They got to keep on with the sketch. They're going to mesmerize you again into believing that what they're saying about China is a lie. We are Swiss made. The only thing that Swiss made is the chocolate bars they make over there, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only thing is Swiss made, the chocolate bars. That's all. No coman mierda. No coman mierda. And I'm saying Rolex because I'm being kind. I can say Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe is another snake in the grass. Patek Philippe too. But let's be honest, guys. When you're pumping in they say 1 million, I say 2 million. 2 million watches with the old man sitting down on his desk with magnifying glasses, doing handmade your Rolex, they're doing $1 million. Come on, guys. There's not a channel out there like this channel. And I'm doing this live, man. Live. Improvisado. Kino, improvisado. Con más mierda, Kino. No te metas en esto. No te metas. No te metas. Si tú quieres, ven aquí a hablar inglés. No te metas. Sweet kid Kino is trying to get involved. You know, he wants to get the glory. No, 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 no. No te puedes meter. No te pongas bravo. Pero no te puedes meter. No te puedes meter. How is that? You know? Go on and Google it. I know what I'm telling you. You know, it's what it is. And you guys, this is why. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to dare myself to say this. Those watches now, the ones they make in China, they're going to jump up. Because let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I am telling you, I have seen some of those one-on-one, and Papi, I'm telling you, I've taken those watches to watchmakers and they cannot tell. And I'm talking about bracelet, casing, movement, dials, hand, stack hands, you know, date wheel. Papa, these people, how do they do it? I don't know, man. How? They work together. Whatever is left over, hey, give it to them over there. Give it to that company. You know how many companies are over there in that Hsinchu? It's like the Silicon Valley. You know Silicon Valley over there? You guys don't believe me, right? You think I'm crazy. Silicon Valley, but that's a Silicon Valley, that city of watches. You know, Hsinchu. I don't know the name of it, you know? I don't know the name of it, but I want to go there with my wife. I want to go there one day. I want to go there. Help me out if you know the name. Look at that. A real clean. Look at that. They even know these subscribers of mine. They know too much. Unbelievable. Look at that. Fecal time. Go ahead. Drop them all. Say them all. I'm gonna be in your side for real. All those companies are gonna go skyrocket. Skyrocket. Unbelievable. You know what it is to say? Rolex says to China, to all their ADs in China, you're going to say that we have too much inventory. You're going to say that these are watches, they're not more desirable no more. You're going to say that the gray watch market influencers don't have no more influence in this and that. You know, changes in consumer. Listen to this one. Esto es psiquiatría, de psiquiatría. Esto es un crimen de odio. Esto es un crimen de odio. This is like you know, I don't want to use that word too much, but this is like a hate crime, you know? To say something like changes in consumer behavior. How dare they say changes in consumer behavior? Cosa psiquiatría, you know? De psiquiatría. And I have to, because you know you're watching all these you know platforms making videos on this. Listen, I was the first to tell you all this. The first. That they're better than me delivering it? No question. Those guys are genius the way they deliver it. Me and Sweet Kid Kino, me and Sweet Kid Kino deliver it wrinkled. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. All those companies, the ones that these people are putting here, all my organic watch channel subscribers are putting up there, they're going to go up, man. They're going to go up. And you know who's going to crash and burn now? Those gray market influencers. They're going to crash and burn now. Papi, listen to me. There's no more watch content transactions. You know, selling the $100,000 watch, you know, and the red Ferrari, it's over. The truth is out. The truth is out. Hsinchu over there in Silicon Valley of the watchmakers over there. Papi, they're going to finish everybody. Let me tell you, for Rolex to come back and get the confidence from all of you again, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be real hard. You're gonna question it 1,000 times. You're going to question it. You know who might blow up now? You know who might blow up? And it's going to take me a lot to say this. You know what watchmaker might blow up now and become like, wow, ahead of the game? And he made junk back in the 90s, when Jay-Z had one and Diddy P and all those rappers with the dial with different triangle colors. Yeah, I'm talking about, Company Jacob. Maybe Company Jacob will blow up now. With this little factory he has, you understand? It's what it is. It's weird. It's what it is. I'm telling you, I know what I'm telling you because all the watches, all those luxury watches that we are seeing around there, I'm telling you, and I'll keep on telling you, a lot of those parts come from China. I'm not going to dispute maybe they are assembled over there, assembled with one of those little old mans, he assembles it, he puts this on, that on, let it go. Again, let it go. And that's it, just assembled it, that's all. The final touches, put Swiss there, a little sticker, and that's it. Bobby, listen to me. You need to be careful the way you're spending your money. Smart money is staying away from luxury goods. Smart money is staying away from luxury goods. Don't think for a moment that what has happened with China, this is going to be for a long time. Long time. It's for a long time. Long time. You do whatever you want. It's your money. If you want to continue, I'm not going to tell you not to buy no watches. Go, continue buying from your ADs. Esa gente está en candela. Esa gente, mira, they're going to give you the logo. They're going to give you the logo. I'm telling you, there's people, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you this. A subscriber sent me an email, and the subscriber sent me a picture, and he sent me a picture of a watch that basically it came from over there, from Qingyu, from the Silicon Valley of over there from China. And this gentleman has put on that watch a new ceramic bezel. I never heard this in my life. Listen and learn. I have never, this is no lie. This is Scout's honor. I mean, I'm telling you, he put in a new ceramic bezel. Gen. This is how they write it, Gen. I think Gen is for generic. I don't know, those people are unbelievably smart. Gen. He put a ceramic, he put a date wheel, he put crystal. Dude, that's a Rolex, man. Are you hearing me? Are you guys, does anybody know about what I'm talking about? Maybe somebody can write it better than me. Because my, mi lenguaje not look good, it don't look good. So, but I'm telling you, he put a road on the back and he spent it, I don't know, it's unbelievable. These people, what they can do with those watches, you will not question it. You will not question it. So, prepárese, no sean pendejos, no regalen más su dinero, don't give away your 401k, because changes are going to happen for real in the snowy mountains of Switzerland. Because the only real thing right now from the mountains, snowy mountains of Switzerland is chocolate, Swiss chocolate. The rest is puchi puchi, papi. I mean, I know what I'm telling you. If you guys don't believe me, keep on Googling, you know. I know what I'm trying to tell you guys. Esto está jodido, bro. This is bad news. Bad news for the watch industry. And you all have to think that these things, I mean, I'm not saying that it's good for the economy and what's happening in the world, but if it wasn't for those tariffs, we would have never found out what's going on for real, what they've been doing to us. What they've been doing to us. Esos chinos están dañados. Those Chinese people, they're unbelievable. They're disciplined. Listen, 4.5 million to 5 million, all kind of engineers. There's nobody like China. Papi, they can do whatever they want and better. And you want to know something? They have the machines. The same machines they have over there in that country with the 680 watch, factories over there in Switzerland, they have it over there too. Look at the name, Ching Jing. There it is. I'm telling you. You tell them where it's at, Mr. Buff. Tell them where it's at. It's the Silicon Valley. I know you don't want to hear this. I know you don't want to give me a like. I know you don't want to give me a subscription because I'm telling you the truth. And it hurts. And it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Kino, no han dado ni una peseta. Ni una peseta. A ellos no les importa esto. A ellos lo que les gusta es Deputy Boxing Black Eyes y el Walrus Fat Bastard y el Hippo, Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo. Eso es lo que le gustan a ellos. A ellos no les gustan esto, Kino. Por eso te digo, no te metas, papi, no te metas. Que se esperen ahí si quieren que esperen. If you don't know what I'm saying, you Google it. And like I told you, not even a like. And I'm dropping knowledge here for free. So you can wake up tomorrow happy. You understand me? Protecting your children's tuition money, protecting your 401k of whatever you have left. Porque son lambones. Ustedes son un bonche de lambones. ¿Lambones? No, quiero, no le voy a decir más nada a esta gente, son unos gilipollas. I'm going to give you a watch market update. It's too much for them. This is too much. It's too much for you people. I could give you more, but I don't want to keep on giving you more because no hay. You guys want to continue hopping around through life like rabbits. Papi, the world is not ready for the truth. The world is not ready for the truth. That's why BlackRock does whatever they want. The Bilderbergers do whatever they want with you because you guys ain't ready for none of this. You guys want to continue, dressing up and looking like the Kardashians. Unbelievable, but true. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the truth. Ustedes quieren seguir de lambones. This is why, I'm going to tell you something. If you want to learn a little bit more about the world, you got to go look. You look at him in social media. Thomas Sowell, Thomas Sowell. He's a genius. He's unbelievable. He must be today like, I don't know, 90-something years old. Maybe he even passed away. I don't even know. But I looked at so much Thomas Sowell that I became a genius myself. Unbelievable, but true. It's the truth. You guys don't know about that. You guys are not ready for this. You guys want to keep on, looking at these rappers. You want to keep on looking at, what's his name? I forgot that kid's name. The Beaver, the little Beaver guy, wishy-washy stuff, papi. Get with the program. Estamos jodidos en este mundo. Estamos jodidos. Make the world a better place, man. Help out the masses. What I'm doing right now, I'm helping out the masses. Somebody's hearing something from me. Somebody. Right now we have 31. And I only got 19 likes. 31, I got 19. No coman mierda. Kino no están listos para esto. Ellos no están listos para esto. No están listos. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go into the watch market update. I'm going to go into the watch market update. Our first watch is an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak 38 millimeter. Reference number 26315. Stainless steel chrono. They call this Blue Eyes. Beautiful watch. This watch at one moment was $125 in the Corona era. $125,000, and people were giving their money away. God knows they were giving away their money to a China park watch, you know, with a white dial with blue gauges. That's why they call it Blue Eyes. Understand me? Smaller casing, you know, 38 millimeter. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do yourself a favor and do whatever you want with your money. Do what you disgust me already. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. Won't pay for that watch more than $38,000. And they don't even deserve a drop. They don't deserve a drop. You guys don't deserve a drop. Pay more than $38,000. You do whatever you want. It's your money. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a watch here. There was it was pretty sickening seeing this watch. This is an AP Royal Oak Tourbillon, titanium. You know, titanium, not stainless steel. 41 millimeter. Reference number 26730 Ti. With a 50th anniversary rotor, you know, 50th anniversary with a China rotor. China, you know, it says 50th anniversary in the rotor. I'm sure that rotor came from China. Unbelievable. Flying tourbillon, you know, flying tourbillon. Listen and learn, ladies and gentlemen. Blue dial. Blue dial. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch at one moment was over $500,000. 500,000 maracas. 500,000 maracas, papa. And I'm going to tell you today, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want with your money. You do whatever you want. If you still want to continue maintaining these flim-flammers who have been fleecing you for too long, that's up to you. You do whatever you want. It's your money. But don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch. You had to be colossal. You had to be a mammoth. You know that? You had to be big. You had to be a whale, a super whale, a blue whale, you know? Don't pay for that watch. Situation is bad, papa. It ain't gonna come back again. If you're still thinking those watches are gonna go back up again, it's gonna be a cold day in hell before those watches go up again in pricing. You're gonna get this. What you're gonna get. This is what you're gonna get. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay more. This is what I like. Don't pay more than $123,000. Dumping! 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 Me descontrolé, Kino. Dumping! Hold me back, Kino. Hold me back. Push me back. Dumping! Dumping! You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want with your money. You want to continue giving it away to Deputy Boxing Black Eyes? You want to continue giving it away to the Warriors Fat Bastard, the two toddler body brothers, Big Pun and Heavy D? You know? You want to keep on, that's up to you. That's up to you. You keep on doing it. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is a Patek Philippe Aquanaut. Unbelievable. White gold, 5168. Khaki green. I call it G.I. Joe green. Green strap, green dial. Unbelievable watch with a 42.2 millimeter casing. Listen and learn, dumbskis. Listen and learn, dumbskis. Unbelievable, these people. What am I doing? I have to stop this. I need to get to 10,000 so I can get out of here. 10,000 so you can be on your own. And let them fleece you again all over again. Go on out, you know, go on out. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the G.I. Joe. Vergüenza lo que da, Kino. Vergüenza lo que da este chat. Este chat lo que da es vergüenza. Ni una peseta. ¿Qué estás hablando? No comas mierda. Don't pay for that Aquanaut 5168 gold, khaki green strap, khaki green dial. Don't pay more. You do whatever you want. This is the real channel with the real prices, Papa. Look how they come to hear my prices with 23 likes. It even costs them, you know, pain to give it a like. You know, to give a like. Painful. You know the button, bing. Don't pay for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. Don't pay for that Aquanaut. Don't pay more than $71,000 and dutton. You do whatever you want. Dutton. You do whatever you want. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Ultra Thin, reference number 16202 BC. You know, white gold. Unbelievable watch. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. This watch was just given to people that were big. They will take them to a back door, you know, an AP, they will take you to a back door. I don't know what they did to you back there in that back door, but it was like a secret service stuff. You know, they put you back there. They would open a bottle of Clicquot, you know, and just give you that. Thank you very much, Mr. Bump. Thank you very much for that super chat. Thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. And they would give you a bottle of Clicquot back there, you know, and they would give it to you there, and, you know, you would go crazy, and they would give you this watch. This 16202 BC white gold. Unbelievable. And this watch went all the way up. All the way up. You know, all the way up. I'm not going to tell you where it went all the way up, because you don't even deserve that. Ustedes son unos lambones. Unos lambones. You don't know what lambones is? I'm not going to tell you. And neither is Sweet Kick Kino to me, Joaquin to you. We're not going to tell you. Went all the way up, ladies and gentlemen. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. 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 And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Kino una locura este reloj. Beautiful. This is an unbelievable watch. Thank you very much, Mr. Dennis. Thank you very much. Un super chat de Dennis también. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. It makes me work harder now. I'll give you stronger props. Unbelievable, but true. Unbelievable. Hey guys, give me some more thumbs up, you know, some like, you know. We got 38 people. That's a lot of people. My channel, 38 people live. That's unbelievable. Anyway, guys, going back to the 16202 BC. It was very, very up there, ladies and gentlemen, you know. 300,000, you know, it's disgusting, you know. Ferrari F40, ding, 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 wire. Corona, you know, unbelievable. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that jumbo, ultra thin, blue dial, white gold. Don't pay for that watch more than $89,000 and Dead. Logo. Ding, 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 ding. Logo. I know what I'm telling you. I'm going to give you a watch. that you guys have been sending Kino texts and, you know, and all kind of things. And Kino tells me, come on, do it. I'm going to do it for you guys. So Rolex. Brand new release from 2025. Listen and learn. Brand new release from 2025. You know, the 1908. Unbelievable. Platinum. You know, it's unbelievable. The 52506. Ice blue dial. You know, I got 38 people here, 38 gente live. They come to see my watch market update. You know, I already told you. They come to see our watch market update. They want to hear us. They get embarrassed, and one leaves, one comes back. They leave, they come back, they're shy, you know? Believable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Está bueno la boca. Está bueno. Don Juan. Esto es Don Juan tequila. Don Juan. The Rolex 1908 Platinum 52506 Ice Blue Dial. Fresh 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, the retail price of this watch is $31,500. $31,500. There are people out there, you know, your favorite Muppet Boiler Room channels, you know, asking for that watch 63, 64, 59, 58, you know, 57. But they come to this channel to hear the real numbers. Papi, yo soy una jodienda. Yo soy una jodienda. Kino, no te metas. No te metas en esto, que esta fiesta es mía. No, no te metas, Kino, no te metas. Aguántate ahí tranquilo. No te metas. No te metas. Don't pay for that 1908 Platinum 52506 Ice Blue, $31,500 the retail price. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm stupid like that. Because I'm real stupid like that. Don't pay for that watch. And you do whatever you want. Don't pay for that watch more than $52,000. And I'm going to give you 2 drops, and I'm going to tell you why. Because that watch that I just finished telling you 52, in 3 more weeks, it's going to be at 46. 3 more weeks. You do whatever you want with your money. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Give it away. Give it away. You know? They're not like us. They're not like us. You know, like that song? They're not like us. You're not like us. Listen, there's rules. There's rules in this channel. They're not like us. You know the record? They're not like us. They're not like us. You don't know that? You know who showed me that song? Sweet King Kino showed me that song. It's unbelievable. They're not like us. They're not like us. Gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, there's rules that you must follow. You know, there's rules. You know, from getting taken, from getting the logo, there are rules. And I'm giving you the rules. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you an example of rules. I mean, I don't know if you guys are ready for this, but anyway, I'm going to try to give it to you so you understand what rules are. In New York City, it was the first day of school. You know, the first day of school, it was in the Bronx, where I'm from. And this little kid was excited. He was going to go to pre-K. And the school had rules that you must follow. You must wear your uniform, your little shirt, your pants, pair of matching socks, your shoes, you know, sneakers, whatever it was, you know, penny loafers. So the little kid is ready. You know, there's the rules. You got to follow those rules, you know. You got to follow rules. Dress up, you know, the way they want you to dress up. So the little kid is going to school, first day. Going on the first day of school. And he gets there with his mama. And his mama puts him in the line and gives him away. You know, when you have babies and they become 5, 6 years old, you give it over to the government, you know. I bet you didn't know that, but that's for another day. But you turn over your baby to the government so he can educate him for you, you know. So they gave it to the teacher and there and the school, the kids, the first day of school, and suddenly the principal is sitting down and she looks at the little boy, the new little boy, the one I told you about, they dressed him up, you know, and she sees that he has his pair of socks. One is, you know, white and the other one is red. And right there, the principal said, you know, there are rules in the school, missus, and he has to obey the rules. and he cannot come today to school because he didn't come the way we wanted him to come, because there are rules. There are rules, ladies and gentlemen, and rules are done to follow. And if you don't follow the rules, basically what they are, they're just suggestions. They're not rules. So in this channel, we have rules. So you don't get the logo, And the little kid had to go back home, and then the next day, he understood what a rule is. Rules are not to be broken. And you're not supposed to break your rules so you don't get this. All right, guys, I just wanted to let you know about that. I just wanted to let you know. I don't want to keep on dropping too much knowledge because you guys are not capacitado, capacitado para aguantar eso. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Richard Mille RM037 titanium skeleton. I'm going to go quick on this one. Don't pay for that watch that was over $300,000. Don't pay for that watch more than $96,000. And dropping for Richard Mille. Dropping for Richard Mille. Dropping for Richard Mille. Logo, 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 logo. Deep. All the way deep. Deep. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Rolex Day Platinum 41 millimeter blue dial, black hands, 2010, Glazier, Roman. Unbelievable. This is an unbelievable watch. This watch is an unbelievable watch. This is an unbelievable watch. Reference number 218206 with a 41 millimeter casing. 41, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this is a watch that has been discontinued. It's a collector's choice, a collector's grade, a collector's dream, a collector's unit. That's the new word I gave you today. Collector's unit. You understand me? This watch was all the way up. They're not like us. They're not like us. All the way up. They're not like us. They're not like us. Don't pay for that watch, and you do whatever you want. But don't pay. It has black hands. The hands on the watch. It's unbelievable, this watch. This watch is unbelievable. Don't pay for that watch more than $41,000 and dumping. We're talking about used slider condition material watches in this channel. Used slider. You do whatever you want. It's your money. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is an unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen. An unbelievable watch. It is the Patek Philippe Aquanaut 5968 Chrono. Don't get it mixed up with the 5168. Don't get it mixed up. This is the 5968 Chrono. G.I. Joe green strap, green dial. Unbelievable with a 42.2 millimeter casing, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want with your money, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. If you still want to continue maintaining these people's gold fast car, ripped jeans, Nike, Louis Vuitton sneakers, Montclair sweaters, Supreme hoodies, you understand me? Sushi dinners, $17,000 steak dinner with a Fred Flintstone barbecue bone in your mouth and they take it back out, like that, the way you like it, like that. You know what I'm saying? The way you like it. You like that? That's up to you. But not in this channel because we have rules. We have rules like the little boy that went to school with a pair of socks, color red, color white. They send them home because we have rules. If there are rules, they're rules. They're not. You're not gonna abide with the rules. Then they're just suggestions. And again, you guys go and give your children away to the government so they can take care of your children and and teach them their way. No puedo aquí, no estoy loco. Estoy diciendo que están locos. No están preparados para esta pendeja. Están locos. Están locos. Do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Patek Aquanaut 5968 white gold chrono, green dial, green strap. Unbelievable. 42.2 millimeter casing. Don't pay more. And I mean, don't pay more than, ready for this? Ready? Don't pay more than $99,000 and drop. Se jodió. Say, oh, yo, watch Michael did in the backyard pulling floating face down like this. Unbelievable what Michael did. What Michael did. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is the Patek Philippe Complications. This is an embarrassing, this watch. I remember seeing the hungry hippo, Mr. Magoo, pushing this watch. Pushing it like it was the last watch in the desert. Unbelievable. This is a Patek Philippe Complications. The 5905 1A with a G.I. Joe fatigue green dial. Flyback chrono. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. What a watch. 42-millimeter casing. This watch is dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. This watch is dropping quickly, ladies and gentlemen. It's an embarrassment. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even going to tell you the retail, because this watch is already under, way under, all the way down. Don't pay for that watch. And we're talking about used, slightly conditioned material watches in this channel. If it ain't full set, you don't want it. You want it with all the bells and whistles. Does anybody know what price I'm going to give you for that beautiful Patek Philippe Complications 5905 green dial, stainless steel, crown fly back, all that good stuff? Does anybody know? Give me a price. Make me happy. Go ahead. They're not like us. They're not like us. You know it. Wow, who said that? Hold on. Randy said 43. 45, 45, 40. 40. That guy right there with the X. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay. I'm going to do it quick so that you don't think I'm cheating here. Don't pay for that beautiful Patek Philippe Complications 5905 green dial, stainless steel, 42-millimeter flyback chrono. Don't pay more, and I mean don't pay more than $41,000 in dumping. Se jodió esto. Se jodió. Se jodió. Watch Mikey dead. Watch Mikey dead. China people, in Xinjiang, Silicon Valley, they finished them. Xinjiang. Please put the name here again. Xinjiang is the Silicon Valley of all the watches over there in China. They finish with the Swiss chocolate bars. They finish with them. Se jodió. $41,000, papi. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay a penny more. This is the number one watch channel there is. This is the number one watch channel all over the place. You tell them, Damon. You tell them. Damon is a real subscriber. He understands. He understands the rules of wearing the same pair of socks. It can't be one red, one white. They're not like us. All the way up. They're not like us. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a Rolex stainless steel 41-millimeter Datejust, reference number 126300, silver dial, silver markers, smooth bezel with a Jubilee. This is a brand new watch, ladies and gentlemen. Brand new watch. La situación está jodida, papi. It's bad. It's bad out there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 40 organic watch channel subscribers looking at our watch market update. Papi, give me a thumbs up. Come on. Give me a 41. Give me a thumbs up. Don't feel bad. Give me a thumbs up. Even if it hurts you. Even if it goes deeper. Give me a thumbs up. Son tan miserables, Kino, son tan miserables que ni un thumbs up me da. They gave it to me. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, this Datejust 126300 is from 2025. Brand new. Don't pay for that watch. Let's see if you guys are somewhere. Don't pay for that watch more than $9,800 in whatever you want. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Our next watch is a Richard Mille RM11 FM titanium. I talked about this watch a couple of days ago, and this watch is dropping so fast, it's disgusting. It is disgusting. Felipe Massa. I hope this gentleman that was asking me to give him a watch market update on Richard Mille is going to hear this. These watches are dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse, guys. It's disgusting. This is going to be, this Richard Mille watch is going to be the next Align Cyberstein. You don't know who Align is? I'm sure his watch was also made over there in China back in the 90s, you know? Unbelievable. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Richard Mille Felipe Massa. You know, the one that has the STD. You know, STD. I don't know what STD means. NTP. Wow, Mr. Donut. Oof. Wow. STD, my God. Don't pay for that Felipe Massa. It hurts me. It hurts me a lot, ladies and gentlemen. You guys do whatever you want. But don't pay for that Felipe Massa. Don't pay more than $135,000. Darn Richard Mille watches are dead in a backyard smelly septic tank. Smelly. Believable. Believable. Dead. I know what I'm telling you. I know what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. I know what I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, a watch that I'm going to talk to you about is a watch that a gentleman that I did a video on him, you know, that in the Corona era, he went crazy and he was lonely at home because they sent him home to work out of his house. You know, he made a lot of money. He made like $150 a year, and he went nuts and he started watching the War is Fat Bastard, you know, trucking sweat-stained hat with jumbo whiteout ears, small feet, small little hands with skin-tight leotard jeans, 4 feet, 8 inches. You know, he started watching him. He started watching Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, you know, the Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo, Big Pun and Heavy D, the 2 Jehovah Witness brothers, you know, the 2 Latin toddler body brothers, you know, Toupee Wigman, you know, A Night at the Roxbury brothers, you know, one is smart, one is dumb, one is tall, one is short, you know. Started watching all that, he went nuts. He went nuts. And he started buying Rolex Daytona John Mayer, you know, AP stainless steel Blue Dial Jumbo. He went nuts. He went nuts. He just went nuts. You know, he took out money from his 401k. Incredible. You know, he took it out and he got penalized at 35%. You know, he took out half a melon he took out. And they gave him back. I forgot what it was. If it was $325 after all the taxes, you know, young kid, you know, he even started dressing up, you know, with Supreme hoodies, Montclair sweaters, ripped jeans, you know, Louis Vuitton Nike sneakers. This is a shame, ladies and gentlemen. It's unbelievable, but true. Somebody has to tell you the truth. Somebody. What you guys have been watching is reels and reels and reels and reels. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a watch that he purchased. And he paid for the watch somewhere in the high 60s because, you know, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes and his sidekick Jiminy Cricket with the Chia Pet spray can hair told him that it was a good investment. And he did. And he even took money out of his credit cards and left money from the savings he had to buy this watch. Manishma, 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 Yalla, Yalla. Paul Meshuggah, you know, Paul Meshuggah. He even told me that when I would talk, he felt like I was talking to him directly. Unbelievable. He felt like I was talking to him. And we're talking about a watch that he was convinced to buy. It was the Rolex GMT Master 50th anniversary, green dial, money green dial. And he went nuts. He wanted this watch. He wanted the reference number 16718. He wanted this watch badly. I mean, he was unbelievable. He wanted it. He wanted it. And he got it. And he paid for that watch, like I said, the high 60s. And ladies and gentlemen, with the pain in my heart, I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if the watch ain't full set, you don't want it. You want it full set. You want it with all the bells and whistles. They're not like us. They're not like us. They're not like us. There's rules we have to follow in this channel from preventing getting this. There's rules. There are rules in this channel. And ladies and gentlemen, my heart hurts when I say this, because I laugh when I say the story of this young kid. He was a broker somewhere, somewhere, Merrill Lynch, I don't know where it was. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this watch is dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. It's sad to say this, but I feel like at times people just let their guards down and gave away their money away, and became tomato cans and Palmolive dish lickers, crayon eaters, you know what I'm saying? Possum kickers, cow tippers, it's sad, they're not like us. They're not like us. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is my last watch of the evening. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch, that GMT 50th anniversary, green dial, yellow gold, Don't pay for that watch more than, crumb bums as well. Don't pay for that watch more than $31,500. For respect of that young man, I'm not going to give no dropping in that watch, because he follows this channel, and I'm going to respect that. I make it as a joke, but don't pay more than that, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy this watch market update. I hope you learned something. And like I said in the beginning of the show, I'll say it again before I say bye to you guys. If you guys, want to help out this channel, you don't have to help us out with nickels and dimes and quarters, because today a dollar will buy you a nickel. But you can help us out by giving us a thumbs up, giving us a subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. And we're cool with that. You know what I'm saying? We're cool with that. I also want to thank everybody that's here watching this this podcast, this live stream live. We do this because we care about you guys, all honesty. No te meta, Kino. No te meta. No te meta, quédate tranquilo, que lo tengo ya controlado. Yo sé. No te meta. No lo voy a hacer. I hope you guys learned something. Use it to your advantage from getting fleeced and flim-flam. I will come out of character a little bit to talk to you guys. Be smart, right, guys? Be smart. Don't be dumbskis. If you don't know what a dumbski is, just Google it, right, guys? Just Google it. Anyway, guys, like me and Sweet Kid Kino say always, take care and brush your hair. Peace, gentlemen.